It's about to go down in a minute. Let me touch down. I'ma get it. Cause I been waiting all night to make it go from the friend zone to the end zone. Tryna take it to the house, baby, let's go. Cause I been waiting all night. It's game time.
Well, welcome. High school football coming to a close. Cody, we made it. An amazing playoff run. Super thankful. Everybody says, what's going to happen to the Cody and Coach P show? I can tell you, we're going to pick probably the most controversial topic in the news that week. We're going to bring it on. We're going to bring guests. Probably I'm going to say shit that's going to cause lawsuits. I have signed a waiver to exclude Cody from any liabilities. And we're going to roll with it, man. Speaking about controversy, Cody, who do we have joining us today?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, welcome, Coach. We made it through an entire season, and it was a blast. You know, round of applause for us. We have a guy who tore us up a little bit, especially after the 6A championship game. And that's Chaparral's defense coordinator, Coach Zoo, and rightfully so. I think 95% of the state chose against Chap, and they proved us all wrong. And Coach Zoo is joining us today for this show. I'm pretty excited.
And possibly another person joining us, quite possibly one of the best performances I've ever watched in a state championship game. Eric Lira is going to be joining us from Mesquite. Huge congratulations to him today. Fully committed to Southwest Minnesota State. He's got some other things popping, but they've been on him since day one. He showed his loyalty, and good story. I'll get into that, but I got some good messages this week. One of the best messages we got is, I love Cody's face when Coach P says something crazy. So I could tell you this right now, guys, watch Cody's face today, because the Cody and Coach P show might have a little bit of pizzazz on it today. First thing I want to start with is, it's great that, we made it through, and it was great. I personally did not go to Chandler Hamilton. Cody brought up the rear on that one. I knew it was going to be a great game. There's some things I'd like to talk about there. But we're going to start in the beginning. So let's go 4A. Well, first, Cody, real quick, why don't you run down the 2A, 3A state championship? If it doesn't, so Snowflake won, right?
Yep, Snowflake with a big win over Yuma Catholic. I heard Yuma Catholic's quarterback, Richard Stallworth, who's a sophomore, got hurt early in that game. When you get to that level, man, it is tough to escape that. You don't have a lot of depth. And then 2A, Santa Cruz, rolling it, getting it done. I saw it was the first ever
good win.
First ever black head coach winning a state championship.
That is
in the
awesome.
State of Arizona. Coach Rashard Davis is the man. Coach Davis is the man.
We want to congratulate
him in that Santa Cruz program, man.
Cody and Coach P, we want to congratulate Coach Rashard Davis for that win. That's amazing. And many more to come. I think, Coach Carter and Coach Carter have raised that. And there really aren't enough great African-American coaches, not only in the state of Arizona, but everywhere, man. And it's just, I said some of the best coaches I've been around, Coach Carter and Coach Carter, another great coach that I've had the pleasure of picking his brain and sitting down with, Coach Freeman. Another great guy. So there are some very, very talented coaches out there that, need to start getting these jobs. And, the firing of Coach Kevin Sumlin over at U of A was one that I personally, took hard. He was a good friend of mine. So it didn't sit well with me, but it is what it is. We knew after that ass whooping 70-7. It was bound to happen. But hey, let's talk a little bit about this 4A matchup. Okay. Mesquite versus Cactus. Everybody knows I've been a big pro Cactus guy. Cactus, this defense, this everything. I don't give a shit if this kid's going wherever, whoever, whatever, Oregon, whatever. I called Cody, guys, at 11:07 that night. And I said, that's the last time I opened my mouth without seeing a kid throw a football live. When Ty Thompson let that first pass out of his hand, I turned around and I looked at Ralph Amsden and I go, what was that? I mean, the ball was buzzing. He is the real deal. I called Cody. I said, this is the best quarterback in the state of Arizona. There's obviously, they've said it, but now I could shut my big fat mouth up and say it. That's the best quarterback in the state of Arizona. And there's no argument. Now I'm going to shut up some more. Cody, you know about this kid.
I was just going to say, I mean, that you look on throughout that game, and once the fourth quarter came, Cactus was punching Mesquite in the mouth, man. Cactus was dominating that football game.
Cactus was celebrating with 5:50 left.
Yeah, I mean, Mesquite was trailing by 14 in the fourth quarter, and especially, heck, even before that last drive, I thought Cactus was going to take it. Ty Thompson just willed that team, and heck, he put up 467 total yards against a Cactus team who just pummeled people, including a Desert Edge team who only scored 12 points against this Cactus team without all their transfers. And Cactus, incredible team. They got almost, it seems like every single person coming back, in every position. But what Ty Thompson did was pretty special. But also what Mesquite did defensively was pretty special, because Cactus hangs a 26 on them in the second quarter. And then in the second half, Mesquite's defense just kind of execute the halftime game plan. And they held Cactus only 6 points in the third and fourth quarter. And that was a huge reason for their back-to-back 4A state championship victory. Big congrats to Coach Hare, man.
Congratulations, Ty Thompson, Coach Hare, Mesquite. There's no way this team is who they are without the addition of Eric Lira.
100%.
I have never seen – everybody knew the ball was going there. Mm-hmm. And no matter what they did defensively, they couldn't stop it.
Yep.
Whether it was a slant, a hitch, a stop, a back shoulder, a go, it didn't matter. He caught, I think he had 19 catches for 205 yards or 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2-point conversion.
Officially, their stat line was 15 catches, so a little bit down, but
he caught 7 on the last drive.
268 yards
268.
with 3 touchdowns.
Let me tell you the best part about it. He's so humble. He's an amazing kid. Let's bring him on. That big smile of his. He's probably smiling today. There he is.
Bro.
He's got that $14 out-of-pocket smile, Cody. That's what we call that in the recruiting world. $14. That's how much Southwest Minnesota State cost him, $14 a year.
Yeah.
So I told him, if you want the $14, I'll throw it in. It's not a violation. Eric, congratulations. Do you have your SMSU chain on, or is that what that is? I can't see.
No,
man, I'm messing with you. Hey, Cody T. Cameron, Coach Perone, as you know, welcome to the den, buddy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We're excited to have you. We were just talking about the game, Cody. Tell them what we thought.
Well, Eric, I watched you all year, man, and I thought once you transferred over from Central this year, you'd be a big shot in the arm for that Mesquite team. Obviously, pairing up with a quarterback like Ty Thompson is pretty special, but I know me and Coach P, we don't agree on a lot, but we agree that you were a huge part of that Mesquite team. Overall, man, how was your experience? Obviously, you guys win a championship, but what were the practice like, the brotherhood like, playing for Coach Hare? Overall experience over at Mesquite, what was that like this fall?
It was great. It was just a different atmosphere than what I'm used to, you know, playing around great players and just being able to compete every practice and like giving my all without being like worried about like having to mess up and like screw up or something like that. Because the team's not all on my back, you know. Sure. But it felt good having to rely on other players and just being well coached and a lot of good players, you know.
I think I was going to say, I think one of the coolest things about that whole experience, man, was the backing and support you got from former Central head coach, or not former, current Central head coach, but your former head coach and Coach Hovick. And in a state where recruiting, in a state where you see so many transfer, I use the word recruiting now, I'm going to get a bunch of people in trouble. And in a state where you have so many kids transferring all the time, and previous coaches get really upset about it, and people kind of view this as like, in the transfer world, as like, oh man, I'm not going to support this kid anymore. He's not in my program. That was exactly the opposite of this situation. And after you guys win the championship game, on FaceTime right away is Coach Hovick. What did that mean to you, having him still just being as supportive as he was towards you all season long?
Man, it meant everything, because like he could have went about it like a totally different way and been all mad, and like hard feelings, but he wanted nothing but the best for me, and I know he did. That he showed it after the game, like he has no hard feelings, and he just wished the best for me, and he was truly happy for me, and it felt good.
Yes, thank you, Coach Perone, for making the FaceTime happen. I love the way everybody shits on Coach Perone, and he's the guy that makes sure that these things happen. That's right, I said it. No, Coach Hovick was super. We had a great conversation. I was talking to him at halftime, and he was so pumped up, and I knew at halftime I was going to get him on the phone when they pulled this thing out, if they pulled this thing out. And it was just an amazing moment for him. And he sent me a text message later that day. He goes, nobody knows. He said, nobody knows you illustrated that phone call, but I do. And I can't thank you enough. It'll be a phone call I remember for the rest of my life. So it was special. And I know it was special for Eric. And Eric is a young man, and we'll get into it a little bit. But in my business, Cody, we don't usually, you and I talk about a lot of the fun stuff. We talk about a lot of but my business is the most thankless business you could ever imagine. I can get a young man 12, 15 offers. The only one he'll talk about is the one I didn't get him. But Eric Lira came to me when he was at Central, and he was just like, Coach, I know, things are tough. I know, there might not be a lot to work with. I really want to find a D2 school out there that really wants me. And we don't have much money, and I want to really try to get this thing paid for. And I said, give me whatever you can, and I'll do what I can do. And he gave me that and then some. And when Southwest Minnesota State got on the phone, and I said to Coach Levi Bullam, and I said, what else do you want? He goes, Coach, nothing. He's the number one guy on our board. We all love him. We all want him. We want to build our offense around him. Unfortunately, it's going to cost him a little bit of money. We got him $14 out of pocket. And I'll let Eric explain how awesome it was when he committed today. I mean, he had every single coach in the program on FaceTime. And I've never seen a coaching staff as excited as they were to sign a player. Right, Eric? I mean, you could talk a little. It was it was an amazing moment.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, just right after I committed, like, not even 5 minutes after I had told the wide receivers coach, they had me on FaceTime with the whole coaching staff, brought me around. Everybody said how happy they are I'm coming there, and they stood it up in front of everybody, and they rang a bell, and then everybody went crazy.
I know the quarterback that's going to be starting there, or one of the quarterbacks next year, said, I want to reach out to him and start talking to him. I don't know if he's reached out yet, but it's good. It's he's going to be a part of a family. Some other things have popped here most recently in the last 24 hours. Eric's handled it like a man, Cody. And that's one of the things I could say. I was very impressed with the way he's handled it, but it was a great game. It was amazing. And we just want to wish you the best of luck. We want to thank you for joining us. It's been an honor for me to work with you. I'm sure Cody, I don't want to speak for him, but it's been an honor for him to cover you and everything that you've given us throughout your high school career. And we'll be excited to watch you in college.
No, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate it.
Eric. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks, Eric. Best of luck, bud.
Thank you.
So, Cody, here's what we're going to do. He's such a great kid. God, I love him. He really is. He's a great kid. We're going to skip 5A, go into 6A because Coach is getting impatient, man. He is chomping at the bit. I'm going to bring him in. We're going to say hi. I'm going to let you run the show here.
Oh, man. And people forget this is live, man. I mean,
I know.
and you called me and you go, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get on. And I'm like, I love it. I don't.
I was literally stacking down.
Conversational. And joining us now, Chaparral's defensive coordinator, my man, Coach Zoo. Bring me the fire. Bring me the heat, Coach. Let's rock.
I'm gonna shut my I'm gonna shut my screen off. Just kidding.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's start, man, because first of all, I want to say I put out that amazing tweet, captured your live moment on video, which we said, I remember talking to you earlier in the week, and you said, come find me if we win, come find me. I found you, and my favorite comment of all was Coach Connor telling you to breathe.
Yeah.
But now that you've finally been able to breathe, you've had the weekend, a couple of days now, how does it feel, my man? 6A champs.
It's a crazy feeling. Obviously, so happy for the kids, so happy for all the players and all the work they put in. It was a toughest game plan week probably of my as far as X's and O's and execution wise in my young career as defensive coordinator. Sometimes game planning is hard because of the other team has really great players. Other times it's hard because they have great scheme, and Highland had both. So
good point.
The way the kids performed, and they bought in, and they studied. They studied so hard. They watched so much film, and to see how happy they were after the game was amazing.
Coach, it's funny because most people don't know, but I never was anti-Chaparral defense like Cody was. I want to go on record as saying that because CJ Eastwood, I'm blessed to him being one of my young men, a 2022 great linebacker out of Chaparral. Okay. I've recently signed Harkless, who's another stud. Blessed to talk to Joey Balducci. I got some depth on the Chaparral defense right now, and I love every single one of them. So I am not anti-Chaparral like Cody.
Hold on now, though. When you talked about our game last week, you talked about the offense side, you talked about Brady, you talked about Matt, you talked about Jared. You called CJ EJ. You said EJ.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you have to understand, most of the time I'm doing the show, I'm high. So that, in my defense, and I've got 589 kids, and while I'm on the phone, I literally have, college coach. I mean, I just called you from Circle K because a college coach called me that we were both talking to. So BJ, CJ, EJ, I can tell you this: CJ Eastwood's a dog. You can call him what you want.
Absolutely.
The one thing they're not going to call him is late for the tackle because he closes on the ball like it's nobody's business. And I was so excited to see him do it live. And I've got good ties to the Chaparral program. A lot of people don't know this, but one of the men that I have the utmost respect for in the history of coaching is Coach Barnes' father. Cody, you don't know this, but Coach Barnes, I call him Old Man Barnes, but he used to coach my oldest son, and one of the absolute just the kind of person that you want your kid to play for. And I was so happy to catch up with him on the sidelines. But, that's this Chaparral coaching staff, I think, is something we talk about overlooking the defense. I think this coaching staff is highly overlooked as one of the best in the state. I believe that, Coach. And I'm not saying that because you're on. You don't know. I will tell it like it is. But I do believe overall, top to bottom, this is one of the best coaching staffs in the state, Cody.
I appreciate you saying that.
I got about 15,000 questions for you.
I'm shutting up.
But the most important one I want to ask here is just execution and how you guys executed so well, because we watched game film. Now, I mean, no one knows this, but we watched about an hour and a half of game film on Wednesday after I had called you guys' defense out for weeks. And just watching every single play against Quinn Creek, I said, hey, Coach Zoo's right a little bit. But I still stuck to my word that Highland was going to pound the rock and get you guys. And they did for about a series. And then after that couple series, after that first series, you guys stuffed the heck out of them. I'm going to read you some stats, Coach Zoo, and you tell me how you guys executed this. Gage Daly, junior gunslinger for Highland, who I think is very, very talented. 14 for 22, 133 yards, averaged 9 yards a pass, but was picked off and harassed and had a QB rating of 61, one of his worst performances of his young career. Max Davis, a player who will win many postseason.
He's good.
He's good.
Really good.
Many postseason awards, running backs of the year, region players of the year, held to 20 carries, 76 yards, averaging 3.8 yards a carry.
He was averaging close to 9, right, Cody?
By far one of his worst performances ever. Coach, how did you guys execute your game plan so efficiently and so well to lock in the 6A championship?
Well, first I got to give you guys some credit because on our team meeting Thursday, I pulled up the video of you saying that they were going to run all over us, and the kids got fired up. We're going to
start charging for that shit. We're solely responsible for Chandler's win too.
So that was a big part of it. The kids were fired up, but no, I mean honestly, it goes back to the Centennial game where you said we gave up a lot of rushing yards, we gave up a lot of total yards. After that game, I think it was the third straight game where we gave up at least 35 points. We gave up 39 to Liberty. I know they scored 53, but a couple of them were not on defense. So our defense gave up 39 to Liberty, and then 35 to Castile, and then 42 to Centennial. So after that, I looked in the mirror and we had a defensive meeting. I said, guys, right now we're not very good on defense. It's my fault. First of all, you guys are good players, and I'm not doing a good enough job coaching you guys to finish plays and getting you guys lined up and executing. So we're going to change the way we practice. We're much more physical in practice. We brought a lot more pressure and movement and stunts in the box, and the kids responded and they executed well. And that was the game plan. I mean, the quarterback is an outstanding player, but the game plan was anybody but 27. All right, anybody but 27 is going to beat us. If they throw the ball out wide, if they make big plays down the field and they win the game, we'll take our hats off. But we're not going to let 27 beat us this game.
I want to elaborate on this because, Coach, if you haven't watched enough of the show, I usually will start a lot of shit and put my foot in my mouth. I want to say something. Cody, this is what we were talking about. I'm going to try to politically be correct here and not call somebody out, okay?
Oh, no.
But no. That's what a good defensive coordinator will do. Exactly. This is what I said to you. I said, you do not let the best beat you. If you're going to find the other way, that's fine. But I'm going to take this kid out of the game. No matter what I have to do, no matter what I have to scheme, no matter what positions, I'm not going to let this kid beat me. And that's why they dominated. And we're talking about, Cody and I spoke about another game, Coach, where how do you let the best player just run all over you? Somehow slow the best kid down. You can't let them do that. And that's, Coach, hats off to you guys. That's right. You take the best out.
Real quick, Cody, before your next question, I want to give our players so much credit because in a normal week when we're game planning, they usually have about 12 different formations that the other team runs that we have to learn how to get lined up to each and every one. This week, our defense had to learn 35 different formations because they go tackle over, unbalanced formation on the boundary. So credit to the Highland play callers. Our kids bought in. They watched a ton of film. We got lined up correctly every time. And even he had 76 yards, and he earned all of them because a bunch of those runs he was making people miss. He still broke a bunch of tackles while running to the ball. So all the credit goes to our players. They did a great job being locked and executing.
Yeah, and I want to touch on what Coach P said, taking away your best player. And yes, Max Davis, one of the hardest things about Max Davis is having the first player tackle him. And so he's always going to create missed tackles per se. But how you defeat that is you get 11 hats to the ball. And that's what impressed me the most about you guys in this championship game. Because when I watched Centennial, and even when we went back and watched the film, you guys missed a million tackles in that football game, and not all 11 to the ball. And that's why they executed offensively running the football so well. Against Highland, completely opposite, and pretty similar to what you guys did against Quinn Creek. You guys flat out dominated up front by putting 11 hats to the ball, shooting gaps. God, your defensive linemen, man, they do such a great job of taking on double teams. And not just Anthony Lucas. I mean, Anthony is so special, and we could talk about him forever. But all the other guys, man, and your safeties do a phenomenal job of coming up and tackling. Jacob Fran's a stud. Jack Witten's a stud. All these guys that you put out in your tweet thread, all those dudes deserve so much credit. And just being a defensive guy with defensive mindset, it was so fun to watch because I cannot stand free safeties who backpedal and do not read their and just take themselves out of the play. And your guys do not do that, Coach. So that was really, really fun to watch, man. And the great thing is you got a lot of kids coming back next year, man. And that's kind of
absolutely. You got 7 returning starters on defense. It's exciting.
I want to elaborate here on something. So after the game, the emotion, post game into the Twitter, the emotion, I buy in, Coach. I know what it's like to love your kids and be emotional. In the world of recruiting, that's how I am. I mean, I'll call Cody at 11:30 at night when one of my kids gets an offer, and it's literally like, like Eric Lira committing today, and there's moments where it brings me to tears, especially when they're excited. Brock Mast from Liberty called me tonight, and we had a great conversation, and he's going to be announcing tomorrow, and it's just. So I know what it's like, when you get emotional and you're emotionally vested into these kids. So I don't have a problem with that. I welcome that. But before we came on the show, Cody and I were talking about, Coach Rashard Davis winning a championship. I mean, you're a great, great African-American coach. Is there any hopes? Is there any, for you, is there any plan to maybe go after a head coaching job in the near future? Something that you'd be thinking about?
I played at Chaparral, and I love Chaparral. I love the community. I love the kids. So I'm happy where I'm at. Obviously, my end goal at one point is to be a head coach, but I think we got something special right now going at Chaparral. So I'm extremely happy where I am. I love coaching with Coach Barnes. You talked about our coaching staff. Coach Koner, Coach Barnes, they do a great job game planning and call the offense. Great offensive line coaches, great DB coaches. We have an awesome staff, and I'm really happy where I'm at.
You're a fantastic defensive coach, and being an offensive guy, former run game coordinator, I went back and watched a lot of what you do, and definitely someone that needs to be recognized more out there for what you do. Cody?
Thank you.
The last thing I got to say, what year did you graduate from Chap?
I graduated in 2009, so I played for one state championship. We lost my senior year in 2008, and then the year after is when they went on the three-peat run.
2009, my boy Alex Holmes, he was probably a junior or sophomore.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my dog right there,
and
man.
His big brother Ryan, was my class.
That's awesome, man. Wow. Look at this. See, people think this kid and everything. We go off script all the time. Coach, one of my favorite things to do is watch film with coaches. I love to watch some off-season tape with you, man.
Yeah, let's watch the state championship game. We can watch it sometime this week. I'm for sure down.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you joining once again, man. And I love all the unfiltered and how honest we can be with each other as well, man. That's one of my favorite things as well.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the seniors that are leaving.
Yep.
That played a heck of a game. Joey Balducci, Meyer Shinsky, Cole Norman, Jack Witten, Cooper Jacobs, Landon Ketty, Aiden Kelso, Elliot Rosales, Jack Forsythe, Jackson Knight. Love you guys. You guys put Chaptown back on the map. We're back. And you guys are going to do amazing things in life.
Thank you, Coach. It's an honor to have you. Best of luck to you in the future.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
See you, man.
Cody, let's take a break, hear from our friends over at Team Impact and Education Solutions. And then we'll be right back to talk some 5A and some open and the future of the Cody and Coach P show. We'll be back. The Mast Real Estate Group, helping families in the Valley for over 26 years buying and selling their homes through honesty, building relationships, and a tireless effort to be the leader in the industry. Travis Mast and his team want to help you with your next home purchase. Contact them at 602-550-5185 or online at phxarearealestate.com. Team Impact, proud sponsor of the My Recruits podcast. In the Valley since 2013, Team Impact runs personal training, camps, clinics, and nationally recognized competitive flag and 7-on-7 teams. To join the team, Coach Dave Bacci and his staff ask for hard work, high character, and a commitment to being the best. Programs for athletes as young as 5 years old. To learn more about Team Impact, visit teamimpactcoaching.com. That's teamimpactcoaching.com. Team Impact, where champions start. Back with the self-proclaimed #1 best show in Arizona. Little shout out to a couple of hidden sponsors. Cody's got the Lake Forest College gear on. Where's the camera? I can't figure it out. It's all backwards.
Come on.
There it is. There it is.
Other way. There you go. There you go.
Coach Cat came bearing gifts. Got my Lake Forest Foresters pullover on. Cody's got his jacket on. Coach Cat, thank you so much. Thank you for recruiting the Valley, giving our players amazing opportunities.
38 Arizona football players on the current Lake Forest roster. 38. It might be 36, might be 38. I'm not Chris Seaton. I'm not a fact checker. All I know is it's 35 plus. Coach Cat said, we're getting 40 plus now. And he's a man of his word, and he's a damn good person. Go play for Coach Cat because he will make your life better.
Christian Johnson is going to have a hell of a career there.
Stud.
Hayden Preston, the offensive tackle from Campo Verde, is fully committed. I have the #1 ranked quarterback in the state of Missouri that Coach Cat fell in love with and has been recruiting the hell out of. He is visiting there tomorrow. So I think we're going to see a commitment from them. But he's also going to take a big-name quarterback in Arizona that will keep quiet. But you're going to see a bunch of players coming through that thing. We got a couple.
Coach Cat is the reason why people need to get out of the D1 or bust mentality. Right there. If you need and a better example, look at Lake Forest and look at Coach Cat.
Well, even another thing guys, this is what I want to say from a recruiting standpoint. We talk about money, right? You guys have no idea the money that these Division III schools have. They can buy these other schools 10 times over. The endowments are into the billions at some of these schools, where my deepest condolences to Azusa Pacific. Azusa Pacific announced an hour ago that they're shutting down their football program. Coach Coop, the DB's coach, a good friend of mine, I talked to him Saturday night. They were recruiting Carson Bachman. Carson Bachman was it was about to happen. Yeah. And now the program's shut down. Yeah. It's a scary time we're in, guys. Really, really scary time that we're in. I'm not sure what you guys are expecting. Reach out to me. I'll give you free advice. If you want me to help you, I'll help you. There's some good scholarships still out there. But let's get back on track because we're wandering.
State open
5A. We skipped 5.
Oh, I only know is Sunrise Mountain just – I mean, there's no stats inputted. I know Will Haskell had the first touchdown of the game, and then Sunrise Mountain just took over.
Am I allowed to chew tobacco on my own show?
Yeah, it's your show.
All right. Well, it's your show, but it's our show. Ralph turned around to me on the sidelines at the Cactus game, showed me his phone, and I almost hit the floor. And I said, it's got to be the first time in the history of a state title game, not one passing yard. Not one.
Not one passing yard. I think only one pass thrown.
One pass thrown. Hats off to Coach Decker and that team. I mean, never gave him credit. They absolutely look. They're legit. They are legit. They run that ball. They run that ball down your throat. They play solid defense. They're great on special teams. 400 yards rushing, I think.
I believe so. And first ever championship, I believe. That. Once again, I'm not Chris Eaton. I do not fact check, but I think I read that. We
need to have Chris Eaton on the show, on a fact show. We'll have a fact show.
Or just keep him in the lobby, so if we mess up, he just click a buzzer.
We'll just bring him in. That would be a good idea.
Cody, he was actually short 30 yard. He is, like, his brain.
Because I'm bad with that stuff. Like, I don't even – but so congratulations, Sunrise Mountain, obviously. I had a couple college coaches that were there that said it was amazing. They said Will Haskell, if Ty Thompson's number one, Will Haskell's a damn close number two.
Yeah, he's very good.
But what an open, huh?
So let me bring this to you because you weren't at the game physically. I know you saw the score. Chandler wins. But if I were to tell you that Chandler scores on their very first offensive play of the game and defensively they force Hamilton into 4 turnovers, what would your prediction be for a score?
50-7.
Right. I mean, 3 to 4 touchdown win easily.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton not only had opportunities to win this football game, I have never seen an Arizona team physically, not dominate, but physically and will themselves and just gash and gash and gash. We're not talking like big plays, but just consistently pound the rock and make Chandler's defense tired like Hamilton did on Saturday.
I feel bad. I mean, I really think there's some questionable things that you can bring up. I watched it live down the stretch. I literally thought Hamilton was going to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, they're 27-yard field goal. 27-yard field goal away from winning it. And I talked to Coach Garrettson, Chandler's head coach, after, and he said, hey, with everything going on this year, just to be in a game like this and then win it, they always had that motto, it's us against the world. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get it done. Chandler goes back-to-back, and they haven't lost a football game in 2.5 years or whatever it is now.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. We're going to see – everybody, I've got recruits all over the place.
Yeah, you're getting blown up even in the show right now. You got coaches just popping off. It's National Signing Day tomorrow.
Well, it is, and that's what a lot of these are. A lot of these are those announcements, and it's great. But I've got a bunch of scholarship opportunities out there. I just hope a lot of these young men. I got a big announcement coming tonight for Red Mountain stud quarterback Evan Swoboda. We just got a good opportunity. I don't know if he put it out yet.
You put it the PWO to Marshall.
Okay, we got a PWO to Marshall. So we're super excited about that. And there's a couple other schools that are super excited about him. Great core. I mean, there's so many great players in the country. But I want to just talk real quick about the phenomenon that's happening around the country. For the longest time, you had about 900,000 kids playing high school football. You're close to 1.3 million now. So kids are going up. Opportunities are going down. And, guys really have to start opening up that book just a little bit more and maybe take – the transfer portal is getting out of control. out of control. I mean, now Azusa Pacific, you're going to have 100 kids. You're going to have 100 kids. Cody's on a charger break, guys. Just give him a second. You're going to have 100 kids from Azusa Pacific that are going to now be looking for a home. And the only thing I could say out there right now to the players is, listen, if you're serious about playing college football, yeah, I know you're probably a talented player. Understand it's not you that's preventing you from going Division I. It's the lack of opportunities that are out there. But the D1 schools are just about gone. The D2 schools, they're tying up loose ends. So to take a $40,000 scholarship from Coach Cat, or to go to, Mayville State was down here, Judson was down here, shelling out dough, saying, hey, listen, man, you want to come pay $5,000-$6,000 for an education? Come here, get on the field, and be our guy. So I just hope more kids start opening up the book of Division II, Division III, NAIA schools. That's all I have to say.
It's one of those things where this recruiting cycle more than any is going to test your love for football, because forever we hear the kid just always saying, I just want to play football. I don't care where it is, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's going to test that, because some of the schools that, that really, really want you, if that's your big thing, like, hey, I want to play at the next level, some of those schools, they might have smaller stands in your high stadium. But if you really are in that mindset of, I love football and I want an education and I want to get out of here, that's your opportunity. So don't shit on it. Like, you can't crap on those opportunities, because guess what? If you say no, well, there's a million of you. That's the harsh reality of it too. There's a million of you. And if you say no, another kid will say yes, because they want it more. So take every single opportunity and don't take it for a grain of salt. Take it and cherish it, and treat all those staffs with respect. And I love high school coaches that always are on Twitter. Coach Hunt, Williamsfield defensive backs coach, does a really good job of this. He says, do not, treat the D3s and the NAIAs and the JUCOs the same way as you would treat an ASU coach that walks in.
The same guy that says to people they shouldn't spend $1 to anybody to help them. Well, I can tell you right now, I got $11 million in fucking scholarships in 18 months. So I think I'm $1 worth spending.
I use the guy.
Good example, Cody.
What's up?
Good example. Mm-hmm. No, but Williamsfield does a great job.
Unfiltered show, baby. That's right.
Yeah, Williamsfield does a great job with their kids. I mean, I was blessed to work with the Wolf this year.
South Dakota State, right?
Yep. And great young man. I mean, I my quality of players is high, but there's a spot for. My thing is, I'll get every player a shot to play somewhere, and luckily I have those relationships that can run deep. The Power 5 guys, they recruit themselves.
Yeah.
And the only way I work with those Power 5 guys is when I get them young. Like Derek English is, everybody knows Derek English is my baby. He's my pride and joy. Zacchaeus Cooper, spoke to Coop and Jason, his dad, today. These are guys that are going to get 20, 30 offers as things start to play out. But their coaches do a great job too, and there is a way, Cody and I in the break, we talked about a way everyone can coexist. The same way that Arizona varsity and my recruits coexist is the same way we coexist with a lot of the football coaches. I mean, if you're really about the kids, let's all work together. Because if we all work together, we will be number one if we're not damn near close to it now in this state. And the one thing that I'm going to tell you is going to be number one in this state. You're listening to it, you're watching it, and you're living it. And it's the Cody and Coach P show. We will 100% be number one. We're taking it to levels over the next couple of weeks that they're going to shock you. It's going to shock you, the shit we're going to do. So stay tuned.
Football is year round, and looks like this show's year round too, man. I'm excited.
That's it, man. We just signed a 12-month contract, guys. So stay tuned. We're coming back at you next week. We're going to hopefully you enjoy this one. Want to thank Eric Lira for coming on. Want to thank Coach for coming on. As usual, the muscle, Cody T. Cameron. The looks, Coach P. We love you. We'll catch you next week. Cody and Coach, we're out.
Peace out, guys.